Learn English through story. A lover's flame of desire. Amelia Harris sat by the window of her office, sipping her morning coffee while watching the city's rhythm unfold below. The sounds of honking cars and chattering pedestrians created a symphony of city life. But she was elsewhere in her mind. At 39, she was a woman who had achieved nearly everything she had set out to do professionally. An executive director at a top law firm, Amelia was known for her ambition and sharp mind. She was married to Ian, her college sweetheart, and together they lived a life of stability and mutual respect. They had spent almost 2 decades together, building a life of comfort and routine, but something was missing. As she looked out at the bustling world below, Amelia felt a hollow ache she couldn't ignore. The thrill of her career had faded, and her marriage, while steady and respectful, had become predictable. She couldn't remember the last time she felt butterflies or the thrill of anticipation. For a long time, she thought it was part of growing older, a phase that everyone eventually went through. But lately, a restlessness had begun to settle in her bones, leaving her longing for something she couldn't quite define. On a rainy evening, while attending a work-related networking event, Amelia's life took an unexpected turn. The event was filled with people from the industry, mingling and exchanging stories over cocktails. It was the usual routine until she noticed a man standing alone at the bar, his gaze distant, as if he, too, was searching for something more in the midst of the crowd. His name was Leo Sterling, a consultant in his mid-40s with an easy charm and a laugh that was both confident and warm. Amelia was intrigued. They struck up a conversation, and it flowed effortlessly. Leo was different from anyone Amelia had met in years. He spoke with a passion and zest that made her feel alive. His stories were filled with travel, adventure, and experiences that seemed so foreign to her world of board meetings and meticulously planned schedules. There was a spark between them, an instant chemistry that neither of them could ignore. As the evening progressed, Amelia felt herself drawn to him in a way that frightened her, yet also filled her with an undeniable excitement. A few weeks after their first meeting, they crossed paths again, this time intentionally. What began as a casual friendship soon grew into something deeper. They met for coffee, shared laughter over dinner, and exchanged texts that became increasingly personal. Amelia felt her walls slowly crumbling as Leo reignited a part of her she had long forgotten. He made her feel seen and understood in a way she hadn't experienced in years. She felt her heart racing at the thought of him, the thrill of something forbidden, a flame that was both beautiful and dangerous. Yet, with each meeting, Amelia wrestled with guilt. She loved Ian. He was her rock, the man who had stood by her through the highs and lows of life. But their relationship had become safe, lacking the passion she now craved. She knew that her feelings for Leo were leading her down a path filled with uncertainty and potential heartbreak. But despite the risk, Amelia couldn't resist the allure of the flame that Leo had ignited within her. The desire was intoxicating, consuming her thoughts, and making her question the life she had built. One evening, as she sat across from Leo at a dimly lit restaurant, he reached out, gently holding her hand across the table. The touch was electrifying, a silent confession of the emotions they had both been harboring. Amelia felt her heart pounding as she looked into his eyes, a moment suspended in time. It was the first time she allowed herself to fully acknowledge the depth of her feelings for him. "Amelia," Leo said softly, his voice filled with tenderness, I don't want to complicate your life, but I can't deny what I feel for you." Amelia's heart ached with the weight of his words. She knew what she felt was real, but she also knew the consequences. She was standing at a crossroads, torn between the stability of her life with Ian and the allure of something new and exhilarating with Leo. As their relationship deepened, Amelia found herself pulled further into the flame of desire. Every secret meeting, every stolen moment with Leo felt like a rebellion against the life she had known. She felt alive, but also torn. She had become too deeply the responsible wife and career woman, and the passionate lover swept up in a whirlwind of emotion. Each role demanded a piece of her soul, and she feared that one day, she would lose herself entirely. Weeks turned into months, and Amelia's life became a careful balancing act of deception and longing. She hid her affair from Ian, compartmentalizing her emotions to maintain the illusion of their marriage. But the guilt gnawed at her, eating away at the foundation of her once clear conscience. She questioned herself daily, wondering if she was losing sight of who she truly was. One evening, as Amelia sat alone in her apartment, she felt the weight of her decisions bearing down on her. She looked around at the life she had built with Iana, the photographs on the walls, the souvenirs from their travels, the little reminders of a love that had been strong and true. She felt a pang of regret, realizing the depth of what she was risking for the sake of desire. In the quiet of the night, she was forced to confront the consequences of her actions. The toll her affair was taking on her sense of self. Amelia knew she couldn't continue living in this web of deceit. She had to make a choice, to either let go of Leo and try to rebuild her marriage, or to be honest with Ian about her feelings and face the consequences of her betrayal. Both choices felt like a loss, yet she understood that this was a decision only she could make. The following day, Amelia decided to meet Leo, determined to confront the reality of their relationship. They met at a quiet park, away from the prying eyes of the city. Leo sensed the turmoil in her gaze, and as she struggled to find the words, he reached out, his touch gentle and reassuring. "Leo, I can't keep living like this," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I love the way you make me feel, but I'm losing myself in the process. I have to find a way back to the life I built, the person I once was." Leo looked at her, his eyes filled with sadness and understanding. "I never wanted to cause you pain, Amelia. You deserve happiness, but you also deserve to be true to yourself." In that moment, Amelia felt a profound clarity wash over her. She knew that while Leo had awakened a part of her she had long buried, the fire of desire wasn't enough to sustain her. The allure of passion was powerful, but it was fleeting, a flame that burned brightly but eventually faded. She realized that what she truly needed was stability, honesty, and a commitment to the love she had once cherished with Ian. With a heavy heart, Amelia made the decision to end her affair with Leo. They parted ways, both saddened by the loss but also grateful for the lessons they had learned. Leo had given her a gift of the chance to rediscover herself, to confront her desires and understand the complexity of love. But Amelia knew that her journey was far from over. When she returned home, Amelia found herself standing before Ian, her heart heavy with the weight of her secrets. She knew she had to be honest, to face the consequences of her actions and rebuild their relationship from a place of truth. Taking a deep breath, she confessed everything to him, baring her soul and acknowledging the mistakes she had made. Ian listened in silence, His face etched with pain and disbelief. Amelia saw the hurt in his eyes, and it cut her deeply. She realized that by pursuing the flame of desire, she had jeopardized the one person who had stood by her through everything. Ian's love had been unwavering, even in the face of her betrayal, and she felt a profound sense of shame for taking it for granted. After a long, painful conversation, Ian told Amelia that he needed time to process what had happened. She respected his need for space, understanding that trust was not something that could be easily repaired. In the weeks that followed, Amelia focused on rebuilding her life, seeking therapy and diving deep into her own emotions. She explored the reasons behind her dissatisfaction, learning to find fulfillment within herself rather than seeking it from external sources. Amelia's journey of self-discovery was difficult, filled with moments of doubt and regret, but over time, she learned to appreciate the stability and love that Ian had brought into her life. She understood that while desire was a powerful force, it was fleeting, a spark that could easily fade. True love required commitment, patience, and the willingness to grow together, even in the face of challenges. Gradually, Amelia and Ian began to rebuild their relationship. Brick by brick, it was a slow process, marked by honesty and vulnerability. As they learned to communicate openly and share their deepest fears and desires, Amelia found herself falling in love with Ian all over again, but this time, with a deeper understanding of what love truly meant. She had faced the flame of desire, and while it had burned her, it had also taught her invaluable lessons about herself and the nature of love. As the years passed, Amelia and Ian's bond grew stronger, rooted in trust and mutual respect. She no longer felt the need to chase after fleeting moments of passion, for she had discovered a love that was enduring, a love that sustained her through the highs and lows of life. Amelia learned that desire was not the enemy, but rather a force to be understood, to be harnessed within the bounds of honesty and self-respect. In the end, Amelia realized that love was not about the thrill of desire but about the strength to choose each other. Day after day, the flame of desire had taught her a powerful lesson that true fulfillment came not from fleeting passion but from the quiet, steady warmth of a love that had weathered the storm. And as she looked into Ian's eyes, she knew that she had found a love worth holding onto. A love that had endured and grown, like an unbreakable flame that would guide her for the rest of her life. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.